very good afternoon, dear students, and welcome once again to the lecture of Entrepreneurship Development SYBBA Semester 3. I am Professor Shaurya Shah, welcoming you all to the digital learning platform of Agrawal Vidya Vihar English Medium College. Dear students, in the last lecture of Entrepreneurship Development, we studied various kinds of forms of business organizations in detail. We studied about sole proprietorship, we studied what is LLP, we studied what do you mean by partnership, its advantages and disadvantages, we studied what do you mean by joint stock company and its advantages and disadvantages. Now as you all must be clear with the concept of all the four, their advantages and disadvantages, today we will do a comparative analysis of all the four together so that it becomes very much clear to you. Right? Now starting first with your difference between limited liability partnership, that is LLP, partnership form and company. As its sole proprietor is completely different form from all these three, we will be doing a comparison between this main three. Right? I hope you all must be remembering the points which we had studied till now. Now the first column, dear student, shows you the basis of difference. Then the third column is your partnership form, second column is your LLP, and the fourth column is your company. So what you need to do is, the very first basis of difference is your government law. LLP is governed by your LLP Partnership Act, that is 2008 students. Partnership form is governed by 1932, Indian Partnership Act 1932, as I told in the last lecture also. Companies Act, now it is governed by Indian Companies Act 2013. Earlier it was 1956, but now it is 2013. Registration. If you see the registration in LLP, it is compulsory as per Act. In partnership form, it is optional, and in company, it is again compulsory. So compulsory in two forms, and in partnership, it is optional. Whether foreign nationals can become shareholder or partner or not, the third point. Foreign nationals can become partner in LLP. In partnership form, foreign nationals cannot form a partnership form according to law. And in company, foreign nationals can also become shareholders, right? So you need to see that in two forms, generally LLP and company, because LLP is only the hybrid version of partnership and company. So majority of the benefits which you are getting in company, you will also get in LLP. Again, separate entity. LLP is having a separate legal entity. Partnership form is not having a separate legal entity from the partners. And separate legal entity, again in your company form you are having perpetual succession. Again LLP is having a perpetual succession as it is a separate legal entity. Partnership form does not have a perpetual succession. All these characteristics we have already discussed in the last lecture, students. I hope you must be clear with that part. It has a perpetual succession because it will go for a longer period of time. It is different from the shareholders. Common seal. LLP has its own common seal. Partnership, it is not required. Every company has definitely its common seal. So I hope each and every student is clear with these 6 points. That is, first is governing law. One, LLP Act. Second, Indian Partnership Act. And in that, Companies Act 2013. Registration. Foreign nationals can become a shareholder or not, separate legal entity, perpetual succession, and common seal. So this comparative chart will also help you in your points of characteristics and in the points of your advantages and disadvantages. Again, the suffix of the name LLP should be added to the name. In partnership form, no requirement of such thing. In company, either private limited or either public limited is compulsory to be added. Ownership of assets. Here, LLP has an ownership of assets and partners only have capital contribution in LLP. In partnership firm, they have joint ownership. So at a time when partnership firm closes down or if they want to sell the assets, then partners can easily do it. Next is the company has ownership of assets and members only have the shares in the company. As in the last lecture also I told that company is a artificial person created by law. So all the property which is purchased are on the name of the company only. Liability of the members or the partners is limited only up to their capital contribution. Here it is unlimited. We saw last time also, okay, the liability in partnership firm is unlimited and it is limited only up to the shares held by them in company. Agency relationship. Partners are the agents of LLP only, not of other partners, right? So there is a agency relationship between the partner and the LLP. Suppose I am a partner today in a LLP. I know only my principal agent, that is LLP, not other partners. Here partners are the agents of firm and each other also. So they have to look out for the firm also. They have to look for the other partners' work also. Here the directors act as an agent of the company, right? So directors have to continuously work as the agent of the company. Next, charter. LLP agreement is the charter of LLP. Here partnership deed is the charter of the company, and here MOA and AOA are the charters of the company. The company is governed, dear students, with memorandum of association. There are around various clauses, name clauses there, capital clauses there, registered office clauses there. So all these clauses and AOA, that is rules and regulations of the company, govern the working of the company. Fine. So I hope 5 more points, that is your name, ownership of assets, liability of partners, members, agency relationship and charter. Is it clear? Fine. Moving on to the next set of points. Minimum capital requirement. In LLB there is no such requirement. Here also there is no such requirement, but when you are a company, minimum paid up capital of 1 lakh for incorporation of private company and 5 lakh for incorporation of public company. Now Government of India, that is Corporate Affairs Ministry, continuously amend the capital requirement and the rules regarding the company. So this is the basic rules. Now also the government has changed the minimum paid up capital requirement for a company. Minimum number of partners. In LLP, minimum 2 partners. In partnership firm, minimum 2 partners. And in company, if it is a private company, minimum 2. If it is a public company, minimum 7. Maximum number. In LLP, maximum no limit. Generally it is 200, but no limit. In maximum partnership firm, if it is a banking business, then 10. If it is a other business, then 20. In private company, maximum 50 up to certain extent. Now government is also allowing 200 members, and in public company there is no limit. That is why public company is considered to be the, again we can say, better form of organization when you are into a huge business, pooling many financial resources. Next is manner of keeping books of accounts. In LLP, either it can be cash basis or accrual basis. Partnership, it is cash basis or accrual basis. In company, it is generally on accrual basis. Voting rights. Each partner has only one vote. Here there is no voting right, and here voting rights are in proportion to the shares held by the members. They vote generally in your AGM, that is annual general meeting. So I suppose students, you are clear with the first part of the chapter, that is we had done forms of business organization, their advantages, limitations, their meaning, and we have done a comparative analysis showing 15 points which will be helpful to you in advantages, then limitations and characteristics writing also. I hope every student is clear with the part. Now moving on to the second part of the chapter, that is franchising. Now you all must have heard this term franchising. You must have seen the examples of franchisee also in your day-to-day life around in the economy. Now you in your chapter, you have to study in detail franchisee. What do you mean by franchisee? What are the advantages and limitations of franchisee? Examples of it. You have to study various kinds of agreements for franchisee, their types, and the checklist for evaluating the franchisee. So we will be starting one by one with the meaning of franchisee first. What do you mean by franchisee, students? Franchisee is a system used by the company. Now here keep in mind 3 concepts. The first is franchisor. The franchisor is the main licensing company in the agreement. who provides you the license to use their business. Franchisee, the independent owner of a franchisee outlet who wants to do the agreement with the franchisor, he is known as franchisee. In short, the person who gives the franchisee is known as franchisor. The person who takes the franchisee is known as franchisee. And franchise, that is the right to use the specific business, right? So moving on to the meaning, franchisee is a system used by a company, that is franchisor, that grants others franchisees the right and license, that is franchisee, to market a product or service under the franchisor's trade name, trademarks, service marks, know-how and method of doing business. So what is the franchising? It is a system used by two parties, that is company that grants the others franchisees the rights and license to market a product or service under the franchisor's trade name, trademark, service marks and know-how and the method of doing business. We'll see it in detail with the help of example. What does it mean? Again, it is a system for distributing products or services through independent resellers, right? So if I today don't want to open my own shop and I am a very good brand name in the entire market, say for example McDonald's is there, Pizza Hut is there, Domino's is there, what these people are doing, they have their own established company. So in order to sell more, they attract more and more people to start business with them. Now, if I am today interested to invest my money in the company, I will take a franchisee of Pizza Hut either, or I will take a franchisee of Sugar and Spice. So I need to pay them the money, I need to pay them the capital. Then the company will give me rights to use his name, that is brand name, technical know-how, the ready market of them, their trademarks, their working procedure, etc. So it is a format of mutual dependence which allows both the franchisor and the franchisees to realize their profits and benefits. I suppose it is clear, everyone, with the meaning. Fine. Moving on. The three terms which I told you, what do you mean by franchisor? It is the company which gives the franchisee agreement. Franchisee, it is the independent owner of the franchise outlet who enters into an agreement with the franchisor, the person who takes the franchise. And the franchise the right to use a specific business name and sell its goods or services in a specific city, region or country. I suppose it is clear to each and every student. Fine. Again, the basic ingredients of franchise. What do you mean by basic ingredients? How the franchise actually works. So, the description of franchise system points out crucial ingredients. Now here you can see the 5 main ingredients of a franchising which is required. The very first is a contractual relationship. As such, the franchisee and the franchisor both are having a contractual relationship. They do the agreement very well in advance and then they start doing their own business. Second is your branded product or service, right? The franchisee is taken only for a branded product or service, right? So you need to work for the franchise which is already existent in the market, which is already having a consumer share in the market, then only you can have a successful profitable franchise in your name. Marketing procedures are already decided by the franchisor. You have to follow the same, each and everything from the packaging, from advertisement, from your layout of your business, layout of your shop. Each and every procedure is decided by the owner, that is franchisor. It is a common public identity. You take an example of McDonald's, right? Everywhere in the entire country, wherever you go, in the entire world, I can say, the franchisor of your McDonald's company is having the same format and the same layout in each and every. So students, McDonald's, you can see, is a common public identity. Again, such kind of franchises, we will see the examples, you will come to know that it is a common public identity. Now in franchisee, again combining of resources is there. right? You combine your own resources, the franchisor will give his own resources, his technical know-how, his marketing skills, his advertisement, his layout and everything. So when your resources are combined for both the principal and the agent, then the franchisee works very good in the market. I suppose you all are clear with the basic ingredients of the franchisee. As you can see, students, the examples of franchisee, the very first amongst that is Amul. Everywhere in the country you can find the Amul parlors, right? So basically they are the franchisee of Amul given to individual owners, and every layout of the parlor remains the same. Similarly, Mother Dairy is also there. They have their own milk parlors. Monginis, that is Subway is also there. Then you have Baskin Robbins, that is BR. KFC is also one of them. Bikaner Wala, a very famous namkeen and you can say snacks brand. So it is also having franchisee. Frontier, again a very good company. So all these things, generally in terms of your food and edibles, you have the franchisee to be seen. Again, in every field you can see this kind of examples. I suppose everyone is clear with that part. Okay. Now moving on to the benefits and problems of franchising. Now what are the main benefits that you need to study? What are the advantages of it? The very first among that is your less take of capital installment and deferred payment facility. Now when you are entering the franchisee agreement, you need to pay first the deposit amount, the certain amount which the company will keep. Then after, once you start your business, there is a lesser stake of capital installment, right? So as such, when you are into your own business, you are into sole proprietorship or you are into either partnership, you have to invest the entire money itself, and then again you need to recover it. So when you are into the business of franchise, you have to again gain the benefit of capital installment or deferred payment facility. The company, the franchisor gives you the facility to pay after certain time. Easy to manage the credit. As such, the policies of the companies are fixed who are giving you the franchise, so you can manage your credit very easily, because the time period for giving the credit, to whom the percentage to be given, the whom the product should be given or service should be given, everything is pre-decided in the agreement between both the parties. Next is management, that is technical, is obtainable with so little or no cost. Even if I am starting my own business, I have to incur technical and management costs, right? So when you are starting with the franchise business, everything is given by the company itself. The franchisor provides you the technical and the management details. So little or no cost is to be incurred for that. Easy cost-free advices or consultancy is available. Whenever you need any help or you need any consultancy, the company is there to provide you the technical guidance, the company is there to provide you the marketing skills, and the company is there to provide you any query solving process which their experts are having, right? So easy cost-free advices or consultancy is available, because students, franchise is concerned with their own product and their own brand. If anything wrong goes, it will be an effect on the company's goodwill. Another benefit, students, here is your available market and clients. Now when I am starting my own business or a firm or a company, I need to capture the market and the clients. I need to attract new customers. But when I am starting a established brand factory, or I can say established brand outlet, then I have a ready market and available clients. Just take an example. Today if we start an outlet with the name of McDonald's or with the name of Amul, right? So already the customers in the market are knowing about our brand, so that we can gain more benefit from it. Again, the last is your promotion and advertisement cost is very minimum, because everything is done by the company, the franchisor itself. There is a brand name which is already going on, so you do not need to do much more promotion and advertisement. So I suppose every student is clear with the 6 benefits of it. Fine. Now moving on, certain again problems are also involved in franchise. What are they? The very first is profit needs to be shared with the parent company. Now students, if you are into sole proprietorship or partnership, you share the entire profit with you only or with certain partners. But when you are into the franchise business, you have to share the profit along with the parent company also. The more hard work, the more efforts you put on, you will gain more profit, but it is to be again shared by the parent company. After initial agreement, unfavorable terms often impose. Many a times this thing takes place. When you enter into the agreement, they show different conditions. When once the business is started, the terms and conditions apply, right? So many a times it takes place that unfavorable terms conditions often applies, which always benefits the company. Compliance of the technology. Very little for any R&D and innovation. You as a owner of the franchise, you cannot innovate or you cannot research and develop, right? Everything is to be followed as per the norms and the policies of the franchisor only. So the technology and little scope for R&D and innovation is there. If wants to remain only franchisee, franchise agreement may appear expensive, right? So when you are starting with only franchise, many a times it takes place that the cost of installment, that is cost of gaining the franchisee, becomes very costly. Most important decisions are taken by the parent company, hence no freedom of making such decision. In sole proprietorship business, you are the owner of the business. Anytime you can take the decisions for your own business. But when you are into your franchise business, right, all the decisions are taken up by the franchisor company only. So you are having a very little chance in taking the decisions. Most of the supplies at a higher prices to be had done from the parent in spite of better alternatives, right? So all the supplies, raw materials, take for example, for if you are running a food franchisee, all the raw materials available in the local market are to be taken by the decision by the parent company only. In spite of better alternatives available, you cannot take it because you don't have the freedom to take the decision. So I suppose everyone is clear with the limitations of the franchise also. Fine. Moving on, students. The benefits which you obtain particularly from the parent company, right? So what are the benefits which you are getting? The very first is your location selection and advice, right? In which location your franchise will work in the most optimum way. What are the selection procedures and advices are also provided by the experts of the company. Second is your product design and product development and product, right? So which products to be sold, how the product is designed and how the product will be developed, each and everything is provided by the parent company. Marketing strategy with the emphasis on advertising. How the marketing strategy is to be targeted, advertising strategy which to be adopted, everything is decided and consulted by the parent company. Helps in development of uniform image, creating advertising modes and languages, right? So if you have seen the advertisement of Amul, right, the advertisement remains the same. The logo is your again slogan, the taste of India, right? So from the slogan only you come to know that it is Amul brand. So this helps the franchisors also to gain more profit and to attract more customers. Initial employee and management training. The employees which you are again recruiting for that training is also provided by the parent company. Negotiation of leases. The place, the location where you are opening your outlet or you are opening your franchising, there the negotiation of leases is also provided by the company legal experts. Store design and equipment purchasing. So what will be the layout of the store, what will be the design and equipments to be purchased is also provided by the company. Standardized policies and procedures. Every procedure and every policy is standardized for each and every franchisee, right? So it remains the same. Centralized purchasing with the savings. Overall, the company purchases all the materials, so economies of large scale can be adopted and the benefit can be given. Store design and equipment purchasing that we have already done. Then continued management counseling. Continuous management counseling is provided to all the franchisors so that if they have any queries, any technical issues, it is resolved. Company also develop a set of customer service standards. In any case, if customers have any grievances, then how it is to be solved, then all the service standards are decided by the company. Also financing at the startup and afterwards. company provides you the various finance procedures, and they provide also finance for starting the business. Suppose every student is clear with this part. Fine. Now these are the certain world famous franchise brands which you all must be knowing. Domino's Pizza, as I told you. Subway is also there. Eat Fresh. McDonald's. Then Burger King is also one of the famous. All these are your world famous brands for franchise. I suppose it is clear to every student. Fine. Moving on to the franchise agreement, right? Students, when you are doing franchise agreement, what conditions are good for both the parties, that needs to be understood. A good franchise agreement should have the following characteristics. The first among that is your fees and initial cost, right? I as a franchisor and I as a franchise, if I am both the parties working on a franchise agreement, right? So what first thing I need to do is, what will be the fees and the initial cost to gain the franchise from the franchisor. So this is the first condition you need to study. Second is your product service method stipulations. What will be the product and how the product service will be going on, and the methods for producing. There will be types of franchise, we will be studying it. Either it is a product type, either it is a manufacturing type. So what will be the service method and the stipulations I need to study. Third is your restriction upon purchase of material. Many a times it will take place that franchise do their purchasing on their own and they mix the products along with the other quality material. So in that case, there is a chance that the product may deteriorate and our brand name can also be affected with that part. So there must be a condition in the agreement by the franchisor upon restriction for purchasing of material. Record keeping requirements. How much is sales is done, how much purchase is to be made, what will be the mode of accounts, every record keeping requirements is pre-decided in your franchise agreement. Life of franchise. For how many years your franchise is given by the franchisor. Maybe for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. So the term period of your business is pre-decided. Next is termination. When the franchise will be terminated after a certain period of time or on act of certain circumstances, or if anything wrong takes place, so the right of termination is also included. Royalties. The amount to be paid to the franchisor, right? So franchisee pays royalty to the franchisor in order to use the rights and the permission of the product which is developed by the franchisor. Location and territorial rights. In which territory particularly the franchisee should be open, what should be the location for that, in a particular area how many franchise to be given. So all those conditions are written in the franchise agreement. Training provisions. What will be the training provisions for the employees that you need to study. Controls of operations and performance standard, right? What will be the control of operations, what will be the performance standards for the employees, for the franchisee, and how much to be received, reward back. Everything is decided in the franchise agreement. So I suppose every student is clear with this part of franchise agreement. Fine. Moving on. In that franchise agreement only, there will be some of the part regarding the obligations, right? What are the obligations on the part of franchisor? What are the obligations on the part of franchisee? So the first thing on the part of franchisor guarantee is use of company name, right? Franchisor allows the franchisee to use his company's name. Suppose we are taking a franchisee of Pizza Hut. So we are using the brand name of Pizza Hut in order to start the business. Management training. Company will provide you the management training to the owner itself, to the employees also. Financial help. Company many a times initial investment is to be done by the franchisee, then the company also provides financial help in order to start up. Continuing management help. Management help will be continuously given. Wholesale prices on purchase, right? The franchisor will transfer the benefit of centralized purchase, the benefit which you have got from the particular purchasing on centralized basis, and the cost reduction, and it is to be given to the franchisee. So these are your franchisor's guarantee. What will be the franchisee's obligation as he is working under franchisor? Paying franchise fees regularly, right? So initial investment is to be done, then every year franchise fees are to be paid. Making minimum investment. Minimum investment, students, required for your shop, location, layout, again furniture, equipments, material. So all these things, initial investment is to be made. Meeting quality standard. This guarantee is most important because the brand name itself gives a level of standard of quality which the customer is expecting. So when you are transferring your business, your franchisee to a particular person, the quality standard should be maintained. Following the procedure, whatever the procedure regarding management, advertisement, regarding packaging, regarding your account keeping, all those procedures are to be followed. And maintaining a business relationship. Again, there should be a good business relationship between the franchisor and the franchisee so that a healthy competition is there and healthy business can be grown upon between both the parties. I suppose every student is clear with this part. What we have studied in this class, students, we have studied various kinds of modes of business, a comparison between all the kinds, that is LLP, partnership, and you have company. Then we started with the franchisee. We saw the meaning of franchising. We saw three concepts, that is franchisor, franchisee, and franchise. Then we studied the various basic ingredients of the franchisee. Then we started with the benefits and the problems of franchising, right? We saw the examples also. Then we started with the favors obtained from the parent company, that is benefits from parent company. What are the basic ingredients, that is elements of an ideal agreement of franchisee, that is 10 things we saw. Then we started with the franchise agreement. What are the franchisor's guarantee and what are the franchisee's obligation, right? So this all are part of franchisee. I suppose every student is clear with that part. If any queries, you can put your query in the Google Classroom. We will help you out for that particular part. In the next lecture, we will start with the checklist for evaluating a franchisee, their types, and furthermore in the chapter. So I thank you all the students for giving your kind attention. This is Professor Shaurya Shah teaching you Entrepreneurship Development SY BBA Semester 3. Have a good day ahead, students. Take care. Thank you all of you.